Welcome to A Course in Miracles Workbook for Students, Lesson 246. To love my Father is to love His Son. Let me not think that I can find the way to God if I have hatred in my heart. Let me not try to hurt God's Son and think that I can know His Father or myself. Let me not fail to recognize myself and still believe that my awareness can contain my Father, or my mind conceive of all the love my Father has for me, and all the love which I return to Him. I will accept the way you choose for me to come to you, my Father. For in that will I succeed, because it is your will. And I would recognize that what you will is what I will as well, and only that. And so I choose to love your Son. Amen. Wow. This is really beautiful and really powerful and really easy and really natural for your true authentic self, and completely impossible for ego. And so to keep this command, I choose to love your Son. You have to die to be reborn. You have to let go of that perception of yourself as small and little and petty, because ego does not have the strength to keep this commandment. It does not have the ability. It is fear-based. It is a fear mechanism to protect what doesn't need protection. It can feel scary to let it go. Honestly, parts of me did feel like they were dying when I chose to believe this. The parts of me that wanted retribution and justice, but of course a false justice based on my limited perception. The parts of me that wanted to be right more than they wanted to be happy. And in truth, none of those parts were my true authentic self, but they were fear-based paradigms from the thought system of the world. So let's say you give that up, the fear, the judgment, the condemnation. Let's say you give it up. Well, what have you lost? Nothing, except for pain and misery. That alone would make it wise to give it up. That alone would be enough reward to give it up. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Because God does offer you something in exchange. Something so beautiful. There aren't words to properly describe it. The peace that passeth all understanding. The knowledge of who and what you are. The complete realization of your indomitable nature, of your mightiness, of your beauty, of your innocence. So you're asked to give up pebbles for in exchange for diamonds. And it's a really good trade. It's a really good deal. So let's take that deal. Let's take that offer. We'll hand over our pebbles, the stones that we've been collecting and carrying around that are just weighing us down, and receive something of far greater value in return. What you're giving up doesn't even have the value of a stone, because a rock, at least maybe you could do something with it. The condemnation, the pain, the suffering, you can't do anything with it except for hurt yourself. Come home. You got to put all the rocks down. And I promise you, you won't miss them. Oh, you can go back and pick them up later if you want. You're not going to want to. But if it's any comfort, you can always go back and suffer and be miserable again if you really miss it. I promise you, you won't miss it. I love you. Thank you for being so brave. So brave. And wise. And gentle-hearted. And kind. That you're still here on lesson 246. Because you're ready. You wouldn't still be here if you weren't ready. You're ready to come home. I'll see you tomorrow for lesson 247.